back. It's Shaxitron back with another video, and over the course of a few days I'm going to be doing a how-to on a cosplay I'm doing for PAX Prime. On my previous video I did for two other costumes I had a lot of suggestions on like I should make videos on how I make these costumes. I'm probably just going to do a how-to for this one, which is going to be Surgeon Shen. Then I'm going to do two other videos for my TPA Shen and Warlord Shen, even though those costumes are completed and I can't really show you what I did, but I can go and do an overview on what I did and explain the processes that I used to make it, and hopefully that can help you make your own costume. And from this day forward, on all cosplays I'm going to be doing in the future, I'm going to be doing how-to videos, so each one I make, I'll do a step-by-step so you guys can make your own. And yep, but first things first are the supplies. First thing you want is some tape measure, then a ruler, doesn't matter which size, standard will do, permanent marker, X-Acto knife, make sure you have a lot of extra heads because you'll go through them, mechanical pencil or regular pencil, that'll do, another permanent marker just in case this one dries out, and then some white paper to sketch your designs out, and then cardboard for making the weapons. This is going to be part one of a few videos. This is just for the weapons, and I'll get to the actually no, I think I'm just going to combine all the videos, but this will be part of the video for the weapons, so see you in the next half of the video. Once you get your cardboard, draw a straight line. I did mine 24 inches. I just drew a 12-inch line in the middle, and 6 inches, and then 6 inches, so that's 2 feet, which is 24 inches. And then, because it's going to be about a few more inches longer than my arm, as you can see. That's about what you want it to be. You guys can make it longer if you choose, but this is how long I'm going to be making them. Anyways, to start it, you want to get a rounded object, because at the end of the scalpels it's rounded, and what you want to do is take your scalpel, not scalpel, but the rounded portion of your whatever you choose and put it at the end, and then take your permanent marker and then just trace around it and then make a rounded edge. You can, if you want, just circle the entire thing, because you're going to be painting it and doing some paper mache anyways, but you can do that for both of them. And make sure when you do this, the corrugations of the cardboard are going this way, and then when you add another layer, because you're going to be adding about 4 layers, you do the corrugations this way, and then the next one, do it this way, and the next one that way, and the next one's that way. That way it'll be super rigid and it'll be very hard to break. It'll be really sturdy. So let's get these drawn out and get on to the next step. So now that you have your scalpel all traced out, this looks a little bit weird, but there's going to be a knife head probably about that big, so it'll look like just gigantic scalpels. But anyways, these are a lot of confusing measurements. Basically, this line right here, the entire scalpel without the blade, is 24 inches long, and I measured up to 15 inches, and then I measured up 1 inch, and then I drew a line right here. Then I measured in 2 inches, left a little space, then another 2 inches. So that gives you the little gripping part of the scalpel, like that. Then we come down here, and then I just rounded it off. In the actual in-game model, it's flats, but I just decided to round it off just to make it look a little bit better. But anyways, there is the scalpel. This one, I just drew it just for the actual outline of it, but these are both the same. And then next we're going to add the little spaces in here, so we'll get to that in just a second. You got your little openings traced out and drawn on your thing, then you can cut it out. Basically, I just blew it up on my monitor and traced it. Don't worry, I didn't get anything on my monitor, but you can just draw a little mock-up of what it looks like on the blade. Of course, I'm going to do some changes to this, but this is basically what your blade looks like that. And you just cut it out, and then you trace it, and then you glue it together, but I will keep that for one of the next steps. So let's get this guy cut out and work on the next step. I'm still cutting it out. I just cut out this one with a X-Acto knife. It's not perfect, but it's the general scalpel that I want for Shen. I just traced it over my previous one that I made, and as you can see, it's pretty much exact. And I also trimmed the top a little bit, and I'm also going to fix this, but that's the general shape that I'm going to do. And then also it's going to have a scalpel head at the top, which I'm going to make in a second for you guys, show you how to, or give you a general idea how to make it. But let's get this guy cut out and move on to the next step. Second, scalpel cutouts. Basically what you want to do is try and use your scrap cardboard for the blade, and I just blew up the skin and just traced the actual blade from the game, but it's a little too big for the scalpel, as you can see. So shrink it down a little bit and then trace this out, and then you'll have a blade. So I'm just showing you that and a suggestion. So let's move on to the next step. Blades cutouts. You can do a little mock-up of what your blade's going to look like and get it the way you want it. And this is how I want my scalpel to look like. Maybe I'm going to trim down this scalpel blade a little bit more, but basically that's what's going to look like. Just a gigantic scalpel. I might actually extend this a little bit more to make them a little bit longer, but that's what's going to look like. So the next step, which I'm going to move these out of the way, and hopefully my backdrop does not fall, but take some more cardboard, and there goes my backdrop. Stay. Come on. Stay. There you go. But remember what I was saying. Oops, I just dropped the phone. But anyways, what I was saying with the corrugations, like, they go this way. So on your scalpel blade, corrugations go like this. So what you want to do is, and it's okay if you have them in pieces, you're going to be gluing them together and doing some paper mache. So there is that, and what you want to do is trace, and then get your entire thing cut out. So we will get that done and get on to the next step. After cutting out 4 of these sections, and basically you don't really need to have a middle because you're going to be wrapping it, but it'll probably be best to just put some scrap pieces in just to level it out. And then the next step is you want to wrap it in duct tape, and then you can start, well, don't wrap this part, just wrap the handle, and then you can start doing paper mache. So I'm going to cut out the little sections for it, and then duct tape it, and then we'll get on to the next step. So before I actually glue these together, I want to show you a neat little trick. Here's the one we have cut out for the scalpel for Surgeon Shen, and then here we have a blank one, which I just made out of a Pizza Hut box. And then you just trace it on, so you don't have to keep making them. Basically, it's going to look like that. So this goes to this one, and basically all you do is take a X-Acto knife and be careful where you cut, and all you gotta do is cut it out like so. Just gotta be careful, don't cut yourself. Then you flip it over, cut it like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. You'll fix it later on and I'll show you. Just keep on cutting to get all the way around. Then just pop it up. Same thing for this side. Just go up like this, all the way up. Then again, careful, do not cut yourself. Come down here, cut it across like that. Then over here, cut it diagonally across like that. Then pop it up. Do the same thing for those two, and I will continue on to the next step. I'm going to show you how to assemble the scalpel, and this is the completed one right here. And basically what you want to do is lay one down, then we have another one, make sure it's lined up, and you take one of the blades, put it down, then take another one, put it down, put another scalpel blade, and put 1, 2, and then one on the bottom. And there we go. There is a completed scalpel, and make sure they match, and then wrap it up in duct tape on the spots where it's coming apart. I mean, you can glue it if you want, but I think duct tape will save you a little bit of time. And then you can start paper macheing, and that shouldn't take long. And then after that is done, then I will get on to the next step. After you put all your pieces together, this is what you're supposed to get. You get this, which is going to be your gigantic scalpel. And basically, you can duct tape these seams closed just in case you don't want to have paper mache to smooth them up, because duct tape does quite well. But basically, you paper mache those up, and you should have some really nice big scalpels to paint. So I'm going to get these all paper mache'd up, and we'll move on to the next and probably final step. Alright, so after you got your scalpels paper mache'd, this is what they are going to look like. Pretty much that's your finished product. Make sure you allow about a day for them to dry. So we are going to start painting them, and I'm going to show you actually a better view of them, just to give you an idea. They are 2 feet long for the handles and the blade, so they're actually probably about 2.5 feet long, maybe even 3 feet. But they are the certain scalpels for certain Shen, and basically you can go 2 ways to paint it. Basically, you can paint it so the way it is, with the color of the weapon, which is going to be dark blue and then silver, or you can spray it first with flat black for the primer, or some other primer, doesn't really matter. And then you can, well, it does, depending on what paint process you're going to do. If you're going to dry brush it or paint it on, I suggest using white, black, or gray. Don't use a bright color, because it'll take more paint to cover it up and not have the primer or whatever color you choose from showing. So yep, so let's get this painted primer and moving on to the final step. Alright guys, so I'm going to add this part of the video in between this end I just finished, and then the final painting, and then the final product of your creation, or this creation I'm doing right now. So basically, I'm going to show you how to spray paint this. If you don't know how to spray paint, just do small coats, because less is more. So used to small coats, oops, like that, until you finally cover it like that. You don't cover it all at once, just go very small. Make sure you're doing this in a ventilated area as well. Fumes are bad. But anyways, you just keep doing this, like that, until you're finally covered. Anyways, I'm going to finish this up, and the next part is final painting and the finished product. And there's going to be a part 2 for the actual rest of the costume. Alright guys, next part. Guys, so this is going to be the final part of the weapons, and I'm just going to show you the paint I use. You don't have to use this exact paint for what I did here, but I used these acrylic paint, used blue and whites, and then I put them on this like poster board cutout, and I mixed them together to make this really nice light blue. And then there are the painted scalpels for Surgeon Shen. If you want to replicate this really shiny color, use Rust-Oleum Bright Coat. Gives you a rich and shiny finish, fast drying. This is really nice, and this is aluminum. And then for the undercoats, it really doesn't matter what you use. Just make sure you use a dark color or a light color. It doesn't really matter. And then you can use your paint to paint it. And what I used was this matte black finish paint that I used for my car, but it works really well. This is a little bit more expensive than just flat black, but that will do. But anyways, there is the final weapons. As you can see, they are fully done, and I'm just going to seal them with either a matte or a gloss. Probably I'm going to be doing a gloss clear for this, just to seal them up. But other than that, there you go. If you guys got any questions on how to make these, ask in the comment section below. But I will be doing more of these how-to cosplay videos in the future. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 2. Later guys.